Well, first of all, thanks for being here. I know you came for baseball. Um, no, I'm. This is always a fun time of year for us. It's the signing day is always a fun time, especially for the assistants, because of the amount of work they put in. One, finding the players, developing those relationships, and then finally getting them signed and getting them to be a part of your program. And so a fun day. You're usually relieved on these days. If you look at what's happened over the last number of years, I really feel like this is one of the first times in probably 4 years we've really seen these athletes on the field for a couple years. We were doing things film-wise and recruiting based on what we'd heard from other people. But these guys, a number of them are a culmination of 2-3 years of work. So it's fun again to get to this point where we get these guys signed. It's a very athletic class, very physical class. It consists of 4 pitchers, 3 right-handers, and a left-hander. All of them have pitchability, and that's something that's very important. When you talk about guys who can come in and play for you early on. But the thing I like most about this group, besides their arm strength and pitchability, is the fact that they're all very competitive. Got some guys that have pitched at a high level. A couple of the guys, one of them was part of Team Canada, and another pitcher, before he got injured, was being considered for Team Canada. So, again, guys that have played at a high level, guys that have won. I think it's important that you find people that have won at a high level because there's that expectation. If you go over to the offensive and defensive side, we have an outfielder, true outfielder. We have 2 infielders, and then we have another guy that can play both infield and outfield. The thing that really stands out to me about that group is the hitability and the fact that we have some guys in there that have legitimate power. And, in our ballpark that plays pretty well. So, extremely excited about these guys and the athleticism they bring as a whole. We don't just have good arms in this class. We have good arms that are great athletes. We don't have guys that have hitability and power. We have guys that have hitability and power, and they're good athletes. And when you get athletes in the program and on the field, they can make adjustments easier, faster, better, and just a great group.
Dan, I don't know if any of these guys had pro prospects, but what impact has the smaller draft had, if any, on recruiting?
Well, so we like to think that everyone has pro ability. You just hope that they don't blossom too early. We had that last year in our class. We lost some guys, from a pro standpoint. But I feel like the guys we bring in, if you look at our history, we bring in some guys that are either late drafts or no drafts, and they leave a lot of times being, pretty good drafts and some high guys. So I think this group fits in there. We'll see where guys go velocity-wise. I mean, that's a huge factor when you start talking about the draft. And then we'll see how guys hit and if they show power. Some of those tools are things that you can't teach and kind of light up the scouts and the scouting directors and those people. The Major League draft changing, it's had a huge effect on college baseball. We've gone down to 20 rounds, and then there's some limits on the signing bonuses, and you have seen major impacts. You see that out of the high school. You've really seen it at the college level, though. We're getting more and more players back that in the past would have been, either solid drafts or later drafts, and that money pool and the way the draft works in the top 10 rounds as compared to 10 or 11 through 20. It's changed the way we recruit, I think, and it's changed not only the guys we're going after, but you really have to pay attention to the guys in your program, and some guys that you thought would leave in the past and probably would have, you're getting them back for a 4th and 5th year. So we're still all learning about the draft, and it's an educated guess when we recruit, and it's an educated guess when they draft, and so you don't ever know.
Dan, how long has it taken to cultivate the relationships with Canadian junior baseball to lead to today, and do you feel like that's a pipeline that can be fruitful for years to come for you?
If you look at our history, we've had a number of Canadians and a number of very successful Canadians. I would say the thing that's helped us most there recently is the fact that we have Chris Robinson, that's one of our former players, had a great pro career, had a great career at Illinois. Probably one of the best people that's ever gone through our program as far as the combination of athleticism, production, and human being. And he's a person that continues to help us identify great talent. And then he just talks about his experience at Illinois, and that's helped us. So it's something that we want to take advantage of. And I feel like we've done that the past couple years, really cultivating those relationships and at least getting in their door. Once we get in someone's door, then it's our job to make the sales pitch and to help them understand, the positives of playing at the University of Illinois. So I feel good about that pipeline and very appreciative of what Chris and some others have done to help us.
Did you approach this class with specific needs in mind, and then did you feel like you hit those with the guys you got so far?
That's a tough question. You always go in with needs, but with a transfer portal, you don't know what your needs are. I mean, you truly don't. We've been very successful keeping good players in the program and not transferring out, but it is a factor. And so you have to recruit your class, and you have to turn around and recruit your players, your current players, and you have to turn around and recruit out of the portal. You always need top arms and very quality pitching. So I feel like we hit that need. We wanted to get some guys that had some power and some gap power, and we hit that need. I feel really good about what we've done. Will we add to the class? Probably, and I don't know if that will be through guys that are coming out of high school or junior college or maybe the transfer portal. The thing, my philosophy of the transfer portal is if you can get the right individual that's a fit, both on the field and off the field, we'll go down that path. What I don't want to do is go in the transfer portal and bring in somebody else's problems. So it's a juggling act right now, and I think it's going to be that way for years to come.
Yeah, 3 of your Canadian guys were teammates. Was there anything unique about how that kind of transpired to get them all on hand?
Well, I think, number one, first and foremost, the Canadians that have been in our program have had success, and they just talk about their time at Illinois. And, their holidays are different, and that sounds like a minor thing, but when you have that understanding of some things that are important to them, and they've had good experiences and, had that time off or whatever it might be, I think there's a comfort level there. And so you get one of those guys on campus, they have a good experience from a recruiting standpoint, and they talk to the other guys in their program about coming in and at least looking at our situation. It helps. The other thing that I think's helped us, we're allowed to have that third fall game against a foreign team, and Chris has brought his young guys in, and they've got to play against us, see our style of baseball, see what our facilities are like, and so I think that's been a positive for us as well.
You got a long-term commitment from Josh Whitman and from the university. I know it doesn't impact this class as much, but what impact does that have on recruiting and future classes?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to continue to to coach here. It's been an unbelievable ride and something that not ready to give up yet. So I do appreciate that commitment. The commitment is very important in the recruiting world. We started getting some questions about that this summer, as far as what my tenure would be and what kind of commitment there would be. And Josh and the entire administration have a great feel for how that impacts recruiting for all of the coaches. And they've done a very good job of not letting contracts run too late. So I feel good about the commitment, and I think it will continue to help us on the recruiting path.
Dan, I don't know if you'll like this question, but can Parker and Cameron help you right away as true freshmen? Just if you're beating teams on those kids that are thinking about going to Omaha, you would think that they would want to play right away.
Why would you think I wouldn't like that one? There's way worse questions than that one. Now, so in the recruiting process, the thing that I talk to guys about is, I mean, everybody asks if they can play right away, and they want to come in and play right away. Well, we want them to come in and play right away. When you have 11.7 scholarships and you put scholarship money into someone, they need to come in and help you. Now, there's a process to it, and you have to really understand the mentality of the individual and what they can and can't handle, and you don't want to put them in situations that's going to stunt their growth. I'm hopeful that they can come in and help us. Again, that's why we recruited them. We'll see how they handle things. That first semester is so difficult, just being away from home. They're going to be in another country. There's so many things that they're going to experience. The speed of the game is going to be a little bit, little bit faster. Practices are going to be different. They're going to be living with people they don't even know for the most part. And so we'll see how they handle those things. And then we'll see when they fail, can they get back up right away, or is it going to take them a little bit of time to process that? So short answer is we're recruiting them, brought them in, signed them to play right away, and I hope they can.
Last one there, it looks like.
The young man from Lockport that has just played at South Carolina, is he a true transfer? And is that typical, or has it happened before you bring somebody in? This looks like mid-year. Is he coming for January?
And we'll go with Vito. That's what we call him. Vito was at South Carolina. He transferred to Logan Community College, so he'll play the spring at Logan. He had a knee injury and rehabbed all fall and was just released to hit, I think it's 2 or 3 weeks ago. Big time power potential, and with his size and strength and hit ability, I think he's a guy that can come in and help us right away. We're really excited because we think he can play possibly left field, first base. We'll see, if he could possibly handle some things at third base, but athletic enough, we feel that he's going to be able to help us in a number of areas. So, no, he won't be here in the spring. It'd be nice to get him in the spring, but not going to work out that way. And he needs some time to rehab and get that knee going again. No problem. Okay, thanks, everybody.